Hi all. Oh, better get my microphone working. Voice and video. There we go. Can everybody hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. So live stream's up and running.
A little hot. I got a question for you, Jonathan, if you're not super
Yeah, go
busy.
for it, yeah.
So on A cars and the group flights, is this like been going on for a while? This is like not the first group flight?
We've been doing group lights for 2 years, but we've only just introduced A cars, so...
Yeah, so I mean, when I'm on the site and I got in group flights, where do I click to join from A cars?
There isn't one at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we put some of the old flights in that we've done as flights that you can go and choose to go and redo if you want, but there's there's nothing in there for this week. So you could just do a charter flight if you wanted to. So if you go to the dispatch screen, when you've got not got anything dispatched, you can choose to do a charter flight, which is like hiring an airplane out and flying wherever you like.
Okay. Charter.
Hello, chaps.
Hiya, how you doing?
Fine, thanks, Jonathan. How are you? All right?
Yeah, just getting everything sorted out and ready.
Yeah, I thought I'd take this beaver up for a flight. I've had a couple of practice flights, so I thought I'll give it a go tonight. See how it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get the airplane ready as well.
Oh, there, I found it. Thank you, sir.
That's all right. I've got to remember how to get the beaver started now. So, fuel, I'll put some more fuel in it to make sure I last the journey.
Yeah, it's weird that it's got three tanks on it. I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter which one you sort of choose, as long as you...
As long as you rotate between them.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's quite strange, isn't it?
Beacon light on. Nav lights on. Don't need that yet.
Evening all.
Evening. How you doing?
Evening.
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Hi Jim.
Hi, Dave.
Your fame is growing again, Jonathan.
Why is that?
At club, 2 or 3 had been watching your videos and they didn't associate you with me.
Oh, okay.
And that's all they were talking about afterwards.
Right. Dave, he doesn't want to be associated with you either.
Okay, what have I missed out here? I've got the mixture on rich. I've got the propeller condition on. Got the throttle cracked open. I've got the... Oh, it helps if you turn the fuel on. Idiot.
I got several that might join us. I don't know if they will tonight, but they were pretty interested.
Clear.
Well, before he comes on, just to let you know, I've got Mark flying the CJ4.
Hooray, we have an engine running.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just tightening things up in the cockpit to stop things rattling.
His first jet,
Cool. What's he been flying?
CJ4.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah. Why do they leave the oil filler cap loose in the beaver and you have to go and twist it to stop it from rattling?
Give you something to do.
I guess it's the dipstick, isn't it?
Good evening, voice check, please.
Yeah, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Jim.
Right. How long have we got? What's the time? 20 minutes. Oh, I haven't turned the radios on. Taxi around. Which way is the... Right, I'm going to go and start orbiting the airfield while we're waiting for people to come in. Check the sound levels on the live stream, make sure it's okay. Looks okay. Okay, that's better. That's probably better.
Take this opportunity to say good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. How you doing?
Not so bad, bit better now. I just saw your message about starting at 7:30.
Oh no, it's just a live stream, but the actual flight doesn't start till 8, so.
Very good.
Do some practice approaches before we get going, I suppose. That wind's quite strong today.
First crash.
Oh, you're joking.
I only flew about 30 seconds.
Where are you flying?
The B-38, 36, the Beechcraft. I know that is prone for stalling, but rather dramatic.
I'm going to wind the time back to early in the morning to get the sunrise. Did I put all of my lights on actually? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, you can see everybody's nav lights now. How did the videos come up in the conversation at Ippelpen then?
Well, the one bloke walked in, he said, he was sort of pulling me leg, but he came in quite serious looking, and he
Right.
said, you cost me 170 quid. I said, no. And he said, I watched one of your son's videos and went out and bought the joystick.
Oh, the Airbus joystick.
Yeah.
Is that how much it costs these days?
I don't know what he...
They fluctuate quite a lot, don't they, the joysticks, the various models?
Evening, everybody. Chintzy here.
Evening.
I saw today that the Airbus throttle set is reduced somewhere on Black Friday sale. Quite a lot.
Your volume is very low, Mark. I'm not sure why.
Ah, okay. No, I'm not sure why either. I shall speak clearly.
Oh, okay. So I've got you at 200% and you're still quieter than everybody.
I will check my settings.
It could be the Windows microphone. I know certain software has a habit of turning your output volumes down.
Yeah.
Change planes, some a bit bigger.
I wonder if you can side-slip the... Oh my word, you really can. You can side-slip the beaver like nobody's business. It comes down like an elevator.
Evening, everybody. Alex
Evening.
from Fly here.
Evening, how you doing? So we'll wait till 8 o'clock, or 2000 hours, 10 minutes to go, and then we'll get off on our way. A few minutes before I'll do the usual talky bit, introducing anybody new, and explain how we do everything. Not that there's much to explain, but...
Hey, Jonathan, how do you fly a plane?
Well, what you do...
Flap your arms.
Yeah, you think, close your eyes and think happy thoughts. That work for Peter Pan? Oh, you need pixie dust for that though, don't you?
I'll just get VR and dream I'm flying.
That's the one.
The VR headset.
You can also try the broomstick.
Yes.
Jump out the bedroom window. It's
Oh.
for about 2 seconds.
I remember my late uncle used to always claim that his wife had a runway on the roof for her broomstick.
Oh my god, the landing light switch is too close to the parking brake.
I'd love to see the insurance form for that one.
Yeah.
So Carlos Morales is asking where we are. If you go and have a look in the notes of the live stream, I pasted the entire flight notes in for a change. The same instruction that everybody else gets. So on YouTube, if you go and open up the description of the video, you'll see the entire flight plan. So we are at Sierra Charlie Tango Echo, which is Tepual. El Tepual. That's probably, I've probably mangled the pronunciation. So I apologise for anybody from this part of the world. But we're going to be flying towards the mountains and having a fly around them, and then coming back out over the water again afterwards.
Good evening, everyone. Mic check, please.
Yes, we can hear you, Emmanuel.
Thanks.
That's some fantastic work you've been doing on the deliveries just recently, with the seat back projection stuff.
I'm not the inventor, to be clear. I had this in mind, but so I found someone else who confirmed it.
It's very clever.
It's just an animated GIF at the end. So
Ah,
the goal is
okay.
to make the animated GIF, but it's just changing a flat image by an animated one.
Which does confirm then there is a web browser built into the simulator that's used for rendering things.
So it's only for some of the panel, basically the like you have for the cockpit panel. So it's based on HTML things.
Yeah, I did wonder with the screens in a lot of the aircraft that if they were completely HTML based, and I think they are. They're using a JavaScript engine for the rendering.
Yeah, in fact, they have embedded them into the, like other panels, like the EFB, basically.
Yeah. So if we have a look at the map, you can see me scribbling a diagram onto the map. You can see where we're going to be going this evening. Over into the forests and the mountains. So someone's asked on the live stream if any of us have X-Plane 12 and how we would rate it. I don't have it, but somebody else might have.
I don't have it, but I have heard that it's not as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, though.
Yeah, I kind of heard the same. I guess it's all hearsay, though. Apart from I've seen several real pilots compare them side by side and say that Flight Sim has caught up.
Yeah.
It's caught up and actually superseded it. And for the plane that they fly, it's actually more accurate in Flight Simulator now than it is in X-Plane.
I think if you download all the sceneries for X-Plane, the sceneries now are probably on par with the Microsoft Flight Sim, but you've got to have several drives with at least 4 terabyte of room on them.
Is that to use Orbex or somebody?
It's to what do they call their scenery panels?
True Earth.
No, it's each little square of the Earth's surface.
Oh, yes, sorry, yep.
I've forgotten what they call them. They've got a name for them, haven't they? And you've got to download them one at a time, sort of thing.
Files?
No, they've got it's like a, not an ISO, but something daft like that. I've forgotten what they call them. But saying that, it is very good scenery. It's just the work involved to download them all.
And the cost.
I think most of them are free.
Oh, okay, so it's just getting the GIS data from the internet.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, you still buy airports to upgrade them, but it's been this always been, hasn't it, that way?
I'm guessing though, if you want, it's not just the scenery though, is it? It's the weather and the wind passing over the ground and thermals now and all sorts of things.
Yeah, there's other factors. But on saying that, I've only got Explain 10 and it's not installed. It's on the hard drive, but not installed.
I was quite shocked. I watched the show reel for the release of Explain 12 and the anti-aliasing is massively inferior to the one in Flight Sim. So even on their show reel, it was awful. I wouldn't have released what they did as a show reel, but I guess they have to be truthful to how it looks out of the box, otherwise they'll get done by trading standards. You know, every single screen had jagged edges on things. And no doubt there are add-ons that will fix that, but out of the box it looked awful. Anyway. Ortho, somebody has piped up with in the live stream.
That's it, yeah, that's it, orthos.
The ortho scenery. Ah, so when you say it's free, are you actually implying people are going to be ripping off the data from Google to do it?
I don't know where they download them from.
Yeah, that's where it'll be from.
I know Dave H, it's Saltash. He's got half the Earth.
Yeah, if it's...
He's got like 2-4 terabyte drives.
There are unofficial ways of scraping the data from Google's mapping service. And the Bing ones as well. You can get it from several places.
Yeah, I think some of it is Bing, maybe.
Bing have done a lot of work, although everybody is kind of been brainwashed by, you know, brand marketing that Google's the best, is the best, is the best. Bing have done an awful lot of investment and work on their mapping to match up the areas so they are seamless, which is what you see in the simulator. It's all been massively processed to tidy it up. Okay, what's the time? Let's have a look. Okay, we've just gone past 8 o'clock, so I'll do the usual talky bit then. For everybody that's here, let's have a look. How many pilots have we got so far? Quite a few. Okay, so welcome to VirtualFlight.Online for the Sunday group flight. We fly along we look for about 120 knots. You can fly whatever you like. Tonight's flight is taking us into the mountains in the middle of Chile, or Chile, however you pronounce it in your part of the world. First leg, the only rules we really have is conversation on the live stream channel has to remain family friendly. So, you know, no religion, politics, anything like that. First leg tonight is 102 degrees, 38 miles to Puelo Bajo Airport, Sierra Charlie Papa Bravo. So 102 degrees should be your first heading. So I'm just turning towards 102 degrees myself. So out across the water towards the mountains.
I just had my first connection lost.
Yeah, so did I.
All touch and goes until what's our stop?
Let's have a look. It's going to be Hualaihue Airport, SCHW, Sierra Charlie Hotel Whiskey. So just on the way back out of the mountains is the halfway point. So someone's asked on the live stream chat, does an IFR flight plan have to use airways, or can you use your own waypoints? Well, if you're making the flight plan, you can do what you like. If you get an official flight plan, it will use airways, because that's how aeroplanes avoid each other. They have agreed corridors through the sky. But if you are pretending and just making your own flight plan up, you can do what you like. In the real world, you'll be given a corridor at high altitude. If you go and look on the details of the corridors, it gives you the altitude range that you should fly through them at as well. And if you look at the ones that crisscross each other, they never crisscross at the same altitude. I only know this because I read up on it, because I was curious about it as well. Did anybody watch the first game of the World Cup today?
Yeah, it was pathetic.
It wasn't that great, was it?
First half was reasonable, but after that, it went downhill.
I thought the first goal was a bit dodgy, the one that was disallowed.
First time guitars ever played football, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a very, very questionable disallowed goal in the first few minutes of the game, which made you start to wonder immediately if money was changing hands to change decisions.
Followed by a swift execution.
Yeah. It was very, very odd. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't a great game, so hopefully it'll get better.
A couple of footballers had their feet chopped off.
So what's this huge city we're passing over? Let's have a look. Puerto Montt.
Bought by the mountain.
Aha. It's modelled really well, isn't it? So, the guy in the live stream is asking, what is it about this plane that has everybody liking it so much? He's on about the Beaver that I'm in. I think it's because it's free and it's quite well modelled. It's made by Blackbird Simulations, who've got quite a good reputation. It used to be called Milviz. So Microsoft licensed it from them, obviously, or Asobo did, for the 40th anniversary pack. And yeah, it's quite well modelled. Quite a lot of things work. And it's free. And it's new. Yeah.
And it works well in VR, really well.
Is it in the marketplace?
There's no, it's just free. It came with the 11, the update 11 for the 40th anniversary.
Right. Oh, it's stock, right?
Yeah, it's stock. It's a stock aeroplane. Got GPS built into it, which is quite cool, but you can switch it off and go completely analog if you want, and fly by VOR radios. Yeah, someone else has chipped in and said it sounds great as well. It does.
And you can actually sit in the back.
You can sit in the back?
Yeah, you can sit in all the seats. Well,
you can slide into them using the camera controls.
Yeah, just jink left and back a bit and it's quite fun.
I will just do something with the color of the fabric for the seat, because the red they choose is absolutely awful. So just have something much nicer with the livery.
You can If you can see it though, you can feel it, Emmanuel. It feels like an old bus seat, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like an old 1990s bus. Well, it's dirty too.
It is. The metalwork looks like a 1950s refrigerator.
It does. There's a nice black version on the Sim Market too, with a black dashboard. It looks quite. I think I've got it yet, but it looks quite nice.
I just downloaded the Got Friends updates, but I've not really looked at them yet. They've released a whole package for Sim Update 11. So
I
there's
installed it this evening.
Yeah, there's a Dakota with floats, isn't there?
I'm not sure. I mean, I put them in a couple of days ago, and then all of a sudden, everything from Just Flight for me has just failed. It keeps falling out of the sky and locking up, and so that's one of the only 4 updates I put in over the weekend, and I'll try it later on. I'll take them out and see if it works. But everything from Just Flight has failed on me over the last 24 hours. There's something there is causing problems.
Right.
Has anyone else seen a real increase in their frame rate with the last NVIDIA upgrade?
Yeah, reasonable.
I haven't updated it, I don't think.
Motion reprojection works beautifully for me now. I'm actually using motion reprojection, whereas up to 2 weeks ago it was awful, and now it's barely noticeable.
Yeah, there is an update available that I've not installed.
Oh, there was one out yesterday, wasn't there? And the week before.
And the week before.
There was a panel update, I think last night or something, and my RV14, the MFD is just completely different.
I cannot find the airport where I'm supposed to start at.
Sierra Charlie Tango Echo.
I think it's really well hidden behind those 2 hill fronts. It is very bumpy outside today.
It is.
And Beaver feels like a nutshell crossing the Atlantic.
The last NVIDIA driver was on the 17th.
Yeah, I just checked. I don't have it.
562.89 or something close.
98.
That's it. I've not tried it yet. I've got the one from last week.
One before that was 47. Or it might have been one between that. I can't remember now.
Hey, we're finally getting to the hills. Okay, so when we do get to the first airfield, Sierra Charlie Papa Bravo, it's looking like runway 23 for the wind. It's going to be a crosswind. Although on the ground, let's have a look. 170, 14 knots. So yeah, it's 23. It's still going to be windy, and it's going to be bumpy because there's hills everywhere. So feel free to turn the weather off if it's going to be a problem for you.
Then you can go on 05 where there's a lot of room.
Yes. Just looking at the hills, figuring out if there's an easy way through. Not really.
I think I'm going to fly the valleys the whole way.
Yeah, I'm just wondering that. If I detour slightly, I can go through the valleys.
Which server are you on?
Can I just ask how old you are? Because for legal reasons, we don't usually allow anybody under 16 to take part.
Silence is golden.
Because there's very good reasoning for it, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for you, because it's basically, this is a room full of adults. And for all sorts of reasons, legally, most of the social services on the internet, and this is a social service, have to cut the line at 16 years old, I'm afraid.
I was pretty sure it was 13.
No, it's 16.
Alright, no worries.
Okay.
Sorry
about that. It's to protect us as much as you.
Keep playing Flight Simulator, not Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And that crap.
That's good. It's a good game though. Shouldn't be playing it at 13.
Until you're 18.
Yeah.
Server is on the live channel on YouTube.
Yes.
So you could follow it live anyways, or fly live.
Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing to stop you flying along. You just can't take part in the Discord part of it.
I'm not sure he understood that he can still fly but not come on the Discord channel.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's funny, the only reason I've become so aware of this is my other half used to work in a school, so you know, we went through all of the training about the protection of young people.
Stuff.
Yeah. It's never ending. But it's for very good reasons. Right, so should be finding our way into these valleys.
He sounded like a wise youngster. He knew the age in the States.
Yeah. There's a lot of trees in these valleys.
You just wait till the Unreal Engine 5 gets hold of that lot.
That's amazing, isn't it? I was watching a video on that.
Oh, that video, yeah, with the 5.1 technology, yeah, just stunning.
And presumably
that's for resources.
Presumably that's all software, isn't it? So I wonder what they're doing in terms of trickery to get it to do what it does. Although that's already happening in Flight Sim, isn't it? Because if you look at the trees, how does it render that many trees? It's obviously sleight of hand to an extent.
Well, what the video was saying basically is that it doesn't have to use LOD anymore. They're all rendered however far away they are. They're the same model as if they're really close up, which is just I don't understand it. I think it's black magic.
Nanites.
Nanites.
Yes.
No, that's what they call them, don't they?
Yeah, it's nanite.
Weren't they little computer robots in Star Trek that nearly took over the spaceship?
No, they were in what's his name, weren't they? Day the Earth Stood Still.
Stargate, maybe.
Yeah, they were also in Star Trek.
Didn't they call us bags of skin of mostly water?
Yes.
Anyone else watch Forbidden Planet when they were younger and it scared the complete bejesus out of them?
Oh yes, I loved it.
I was only very young, and when the monsters came in through the wire, the electric monsters, and the ending section, that was terrifying.
Yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon got me a good one too.
Okay, so what's the easiest way through this next pass? I guess, do we go to the right or the left of these big hills?
I'm trying to the left so that I can eventually.
I was going to say, if you
turn
go
right
left,
into that runway.
If you
On
go
the right,
left,
it's a
there's
dead
no
end.
more climbing.
It's a dead end on the right, but you have a pass and some beautiful altitude lakes. Can be done.
Really enjoy the new terrain mode on the GNS 530. It's really nice that they added that with working title.
I've not seen that yet.
Guess you just have to scroll on the small knob once or twice to the right if you're in the basic map view, and it will display you how your height is relative to the terrain height.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's a virtual radio altimeter?
Yeah.
GPS based on the map, of course, yeah. It's very nice to navigate through those hills.
Yeah, go on the right, it's really fun at the end. You have a small pass and a nice descent. Really gorgeous one.
The other thing in the new Garmin is that you've got keyboard entry, which is amazing. You don't have to keep twirling the knobs all the time.
I've tried the height phone before on the Garmin, but it's very useful.
Okay, you need to lose some major height in a few moments to drop down to the runway.
Drop those flaps.
See, there's someone way ahead called Merlin. It's a kind of magic.
I tried the DC3 in VR yesterday for the first time. Am I the only one to have all the indication of the different knobs, switch and things which are totally mixed up?
Yeah.
They do not correspond at all.
There's a lot of people complaining about the DC3 in VR.
I spent 20 minutes trying to start the engine. Then I looked again at your video because it wasn't working.
I made two versions of that video because it turns out the checklist as published by Asobo, or was it Aeroplane Heaven that made the DC3? It's wrong. If you tried it in the real plane, you'd set fire to the engines, apparently. It's quite funny. I put that video out, the first one of the DC3, where I had a go in it, and a real DC3 pilot with nearly 2,000 hours experience chipped in the comments, and he said, you might want to look at that. Okay, so what's the wind? Oh, the wind has slowed right down now while we've been en route. I think we probably can get away with a straight in, can't we? Something I didn't mention, if you do get way ahead of the pack and you're first into an airfield, if you fly a couple of circuits just waiting for everybody else to catch up, it keeps the group together. Then you get more fun flying along because you get clusters of people flying formation with each other and things like that. If we get too strung out, that doesn't tend to happen.
This is amazing. I'm getting nearly 60 frames a second in VR with a 3070.
That's pretty good.
Stunning. Yeah, so smooth.
Which aircraft are you flying?
The Beaver. Sort of most things high. Nothing on ultra. Clouds are on high. Most terrains are 100%. But yeah, 60 frames as smooth as a baby's bum, and I think MR is on, I'm not sure.
Well, if you don't need all the frames, can you send me 10 or 15 of them?
Yeah, I've got a padded envelope. Anne, have you got a jiffy bag? Yeah, we need to put some frames in for Emmanuel.
Okay, oh yeah, I got visual on the airfield. Fantastic.
Have you noticed that if you change out of VR and then change back again, the frame rate's really bad?
It almost freeze on my side, but this is an issue with the Quest. I have basically to restart everything, including the Oculus software. If you just start directly, start the sim, but basically never change and stay in VR until the end of the flight, it works well.
That's
and indeed,
right.
Yeah, they have increased the frame rate. I was not able at all to go above 30, and now even with the Beaver, it can be done.
I don't get that in the reverb. You switch it on and off as you feel.
Well, mine's a Reverb G2, and I had 60 frames per minute a little while ago, and I've just turned it off and back on again, and now I've got 40. Oh dear.
Yeah, that was without motion replay, that 58 frames. That's pretty good. Obviously the buildings are the main killer.
Double back and watch some of the next arrivals coming in.
Anybody else with the G2 found if you come in and out of VR sort of more than twice, you lose the sound on the sim?
Yeah, I haven't got any sound on the sim. I haven't had it for a week or two actually now.
Okay, well check your sound settings that it's on default, but I nip in and out of VR more than 3 times and it just goes, oh, I'm out of fuel. It just completely goes.
Just say that in passing. Okay, so the next leg is 120 degrees, 20 miles to the next airfield. So let's have a look at the hills, and there's some pretty scary ones in the way. But there's gaps.
I didn't swap tanks. Keep forgetting in this.
Yeah, I need to do that actually. Getting low on the middle tank. Should be good to get to halfway though.
Well, now we've all had an extra week to get used to the helis. Does anybody else hate the 407 as much as me?
I've hardly flown it, to be honest.
It's an absolute pig to fly if you've got all the assistants turned off, isn't it?
The view is weird. It's all sort of, I don't know what it looks like. You're in a fish tank. It's just weird. but that little gimbal is a lot of fun.
It really is. I think they put a lot of hard work in it also, with the manufacturer doing a lot of 3D scanning.
Yep.
Yeah, it does work well. And that one you can actually map the throttle, so you can use the throttle in the gimbal. Or gimbal, I'm not quite how they pronounce it. But in the Bell, I cannot map the throttle at all. Got the collective, but the throttle is just use the mouse, got to use it.
Looks like Mark C is going off exploring around the hilltops.
I just crashed and burned. I was going to say, good luck getting out of here.
We're low along the valley. I need to start climbing actually, because I know this valley is going to run out.
It does.
Thankfully the beaver's good at climbing.
He's also good at gliding. I've been gliding for nearly 30 seconds. Last time there was no fuel and I've lost my engine, but it glides quite well.
Was wishing I was in the Kodiak. The Cessna couldn't quite cut it.
Someone on the live stream is asking if they can join on Xbox. You can certainly join in the multiplayer, but obviously the voice chat is going to be a problem for you unless you use a mobile phone or a laptop or something.
Xbox has got Discord.
Oh, has it got it now?
Yeah, it does.
And you can run it in the background alongside other games?
Yep, apparently so. I've not tried it, but a lot of people do.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah, because it used to be a real struggle for people.
Yeah, and had the phone connected to it, didn't it?
Well, the problem with using a touchscreen is push to talk is rubbish.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
trying to use an iPad, it was almost impossible. It could be done, but it was ever so if hit or miss.
Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't been climbing and you're following along this valley to the south of the flight line, you need to start climbing. You may have to circle in a kind of wall of death scenario. There is quite a big bowl here.
Yeah, no more valley.
Yeah, it runs out.
Fortunately, the air is crystal clear here.
Yes. Yeah, that's always the horror, isn't it? If you're in misty conditions and you get to the end of a valley and realise you need several thousand feet.
Yeah, exactly. I had this recently, like flying from Innsbruck to Lugano, and then suddenly everything became like a real mist and fog. That's why I found this terrain function in the Garmin.
It saved you.
And it saved my day.
Does it give an instant distance or a predictive distance to the terrain? It could have.
You just have to avoid red at all times and yellow if you can.
Because red and yellow equals brown.
Yeah, I can see the aircraft that went to the north once I crested the peak. Crossing the valley about 20 miles away, 10 miles away.
Oh, there's some wind up here. No Alice this week. Alice there?
No, haven't heard him so far.
No, because there's Llanada Grande. I mean, that sounds like a coffee.
I'm sure if he catches the live stream and hears everybody asking after him, he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, missing you, Alice, mate. In your coffees. And Jim on his case.
Who, me?
Oh, yeah. Hello, Jim.
Good evening.
Okay, so we follow this river valley down to Llanada Grande. Once we go through Llanada Grande, if you go south and you can follow the valley round to the halfway airport. Let me get some speed on to try and catch up a little bit. Amazing scenery around here, isn't it?
Follow that main little path. Oh, the river. Follow the river all the way through, and you can come straight in on this.
Yep.
The small river, not the big one. The left-hand fork.
It's a nice turquoise colour as well. It looks lovely.
Lovely. There'll be some panning for gold in there. I'm going to land and wait for you.
Cool. Oh, my sim's just paused. Hopefully that's just the usual USB controller having a fit. I still have sound, which is usually a good sign.
Oh, we can hear you.
You just disappeared to my left side.
Yes, the multiplayer's broken. Oh, I've lost the engine. That's the first time I've seen that happen. It was... Oh no, as it came out of being frozen, I had lost all airspeed.
I was in active pause for some reason. I'm having major problems with that at the moment. I've got aircraft, the just flight ones.
You're back.
The controls only work when I'm in active pause, and then they go into the flight and half of them don't work. It's very strange.
How am I doing on fuel? Used half of the tank.
Well, the fuel station is busy down there. There's someone at it already.
I've got more than enough to get to the halfway point, which is good. I did a flight the other day with the Beaver of a longer range, and discovered if you get to about 8,500 feet, you can almost lean it completely out, and then you get enormous range out of it. So I was happily doing kind of 8,500 feet, doing 130 knots indicated, with the lean about half an inch off of shut off, essentially.
You were in the jet stream?
I had about a 10 knot tailwind, but even so, indicated was still 130 knots. So, but yeah, but the range was enormous. But obviously, you had to get to the altitude to lean the engine out. I was playing with the propeller as well. I had that wound back quite a lot, and it didn't seem to have too much effect on the speed.
That Kodiak's nicey.
So, what's going on with the wind? Oh, there's no wind at all really, a bit of a crosswind.
Damn it, this thing flips over easily.
I was just doing a classic mountain flying technique of circling around in a valley to gain height before going up across the mountain.
Like a reverse corkscrew.
Yeah.
It's always a bit more stressful than it should be though, isn't it?
Flying a Kit Fox or one of those like Stoll type planes that will stall out at, you know, you can only climb at like 70 knots or whatever.
Okay, so to get to the next airfield, yeah, I guess I'm going to go south and follow the valley.
Yeah, if you're going direct, you need about 6,000 feet.
Take a bit of climbing to get that, wouldn't it? So the next airfield, Sierra Charlie Hotel Whiskey, is the halfway airfield, so we'll stop there for a few minutes so we can go grab a coffee or whatever they want to do. Call Ellis and make some advance orders.
It's like a wall of mountains in front of us.
It is.
These mountains are impressive.
And they stretch for about 2,000 miles. 3,000 miles. It's an impressive mountain range. We're in
Not
one.
that impressive. I just flew straight into one 2 minutes ago and didn't make any impression into it at all.
Phenomenal part of the world to fly around in.
Someone is asking on the live stream, they've never joined a group flight. How do they, what steps are there involved? If you go to VirtualFlight.Online, there's all sorts of guidance there about things to do. Basically, we all hang out on Discord and we use the multiplayer functions that are built into the simulator. So it's not too difficult. But yeah, there's a getting started section on VirtualFlight.Online about the group flights. So if you look in the margin at VirtualFlight.Online, you'll see group flights, and there's a page all about it.
It's really impressive up here over the mountains.
Yeah, I'm just about to turn towards... Oh, did you go over the top?
Yeah, you need about 7,000 feet.
I'm at 8.5.
It's incredible. There are glaciers up here, lakes, and all sorts of things. It's very realistic.
A lot of snow.
Yeah.
Coffee shop?
Ice cream van.
That's probably why it's not on today. No coffee shop, too remote. He's done a recce beforehand and he's gone, nope.
Can you imagine the cartographers years ago, though, before modern technology arrived, trying to map out these places?
I guess half of it.
Well, you say that, but some map makers were scarily accurate with it all, weren't they?
I wonder why that. I'm thinking when they guys did the Mason-Dixon, that it was almost one of the flattest parts. It chose one of the flattest areas, coast to coast.
I know Cook did map pretty accurate New Zealand, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, so anybody watching the live stream that's asking questions about how to join in, if you look at the notes on the live stream, I forgot it's got all the guidance in there, so all the things you need to do to join in. So we'll be stopping at the next airfield, perfect chance to join in. So make sure your simulator is on all players on the flight conditions, and make sure you're on the Southeast Asia multiplayer server at the top right corner of Flight Sim, and just come to this airport, SCHW. And you'll see a load of aeroplanes. If you get there before us, you'll see a load of aeroplanes coming in.
Leave some parking room though.
I did read that the next world update is going to be New Zealand in February.
It is. That's going to be great fun.
when does England play Wales then?
In the World Cup?
Wait, is it today?
No.
I think it's Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday, right.
Play the US on Monday.
They're our team, aren't they? They're no idiots. Half of them play for foreign clubs anyway.
Give the US some time and they'll be a formidable national team. I've got quite a few friends over in the States, and the investment that's going into kids football over there or soccer as they call it, is absolutely enormous. I think they finally twigged that it's the cheapest sport. Well, I think they finally twigged it's the cheapest sport for your kids to play. Which is why it's been so popular everywhere else.
They're not quite so dangerous as some of the others as well.
Yeah.
Jumpers for goalposts.
Exactly. All you need is one kid. Sorry, go on.
The Americans like to give sort of name tags to things, and a very well known one now is soccer mums.
Yep.
Don't come up through the valley, you better take the first right. Otherwise, you're going to be climbing into those mountains there.
Yeah, I was just looking at the map a few moments ago, thinking, how do we get out of here once we get to the end? Or is it just a gentle climb out?
Yeah, so far it's been not too bad. I'm at the lead plane in this pack here.
Well, thankfully I'm in... So go on.
No, go on, try it.
I was going to say, thankfully I'm in this beaver, so I can climb like crazy if I need to.
There's a valley to the left that I've taken, and it seems pretty clear, really. It's not too bad.
Oh yeah, I can see it on the map.
Is that Merlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
I must say I'm quite impressed with the level of performance of the Beaver. I wasn't expecting this power from such an aircraft.
Yeah, but if you push it, it drinks fuel like nobody's business. That's the only problem with it.
I'd like to run nice and lean though.
Yeah.
As long as you don't run out of hydraulic oil.
Oh, like the 737 you mean? I've done that. I've got the t-shirt. Oh, I'm working on that, by the way. I've found a place that makes t-shirts that will run the shop for us. So I'll go and put the t-shirt designs together, and I'll think of some witty slogans about things like that we can have written on the shirts.
I think you ought to have a competition.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Slogans and cap badges or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can enter pictures into the... What's it on here, can't we?
That's a good idea. Just one-liners. That's all it needs for a shirt, isn't it? Or a cap. Okay, I'm climbing and
To
hoping.
be able to use the logo.
Yeah, because the logo. I drew the
This is not
logo.
the place you want to run up.
The paper dart is loosely based on a public domain image that's got a paper dart in it. But I've redrawn it over time to make it more usable for other things. But for you making it work on a t-shirt, it'll have to be redrawn anyway. The only reason I know about this is because my brother worked for a design company and they did a lot of print stuff, and yeah, you'd be surprised how many versions of corporate logos there are for different purposes, for different sizes, different print methods, things like that. It's very rare you get the same logo used, for multiple purposes.
Didn't Julian have something to do with the Vodafone?
I think so,
symbol?
yeah. I found one place that makes they give you the option of either just printing the logo like a cheap T-shirt, or they'll actually do embroidered ones. So I thought actually just for the polo shirt type thing, that might be nice to have a proper embroidered one as an option.
I got one for Southwest Flight Sim, but it's quite nice.
Yeah.
That's an embroidered one.
I mean, they all obviously use robot sewing machines and stuff to make them.
Oh yeah.
They create a jacquard for it,
Yeah.
which is the design, and then printer just automatically sew it on there.
Yep.
Let me put me down for a polo shirt and a t-shirt. That'd be great, thanks.
And a hat.
And a mug.
Have you got any idea of the prices they're likely to be charging?
I'm still looking. That's why I've been looking around to see who's the most reasonably priced and can do multiple, regional areas of the world without any big issues.
Well, postage, you mean?
Yeah, because some of them, they'll be great in one country, but then absolutely rip everybody else off.
It's based on how much it's going to cost to send a coffee mug to New Zealand.
With coffee in it.
And keep it hot.
And still be hot, yeah.
You can have a whip round for Ellis.
Yeah, we'll send him one.
Make it frothy coffee.
Right, let's have a look. Okay, so I want to actually go straight across this bay.
That's a steep river. Don't often see steep rivers. But that one's clinging onto the side of that hill quite well.
Yeah, I think the one that everyone's commented about in terms of a t-shirt that will cause the strangest looks from people that don't understand is just simply saying I forgot to turn ACARs on.
I love it.
Sounds great.
I forgot to put me wheels down.
Yeah.
Forgot to turn on the landing lights.
Yeah. Again.
Pirate? What's a pirate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's a pirate?
Time to slew again.
In case of emergency, press Y.
Everyone will be like, what is slew?
Just hit the Y key.
Yeah.
Good snow.
Most simmers know that, don't they? Hit the Y key.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount of people get them. So my phone, my text messages, I've got a custom sound on my phone, and it's the alarm sound from Metal Gear Solid from years ago, when the little exclamation mark comes ahead and it goes beep. It's very noticeable, and only one person in 6 months has gone, oh, is that? And yeah.
My other half started a ridiculous craze amongst everybody we knew when Finding Nemo came out. I don't know what gave her the idea to do it, but she was the first person I knew that did it. She changed her phone message received notification sound to the seagull sound from Finding Nemo. So every time, yeah, so it goes, mine. But of course, when you've got a room full of people who've done it, all the phones are doing it all sodding day long.
It's just like in the film then.
But yeah, but after 5 minutes, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, some people don't like that. I know my missus did. She was fed up with the company she was working at. She changed her ringtone to The Great Escape.
That's Twitter at the moment.
Yeah, did.
Oh dear.
And also Ding Dong the Witch is Dead.
Oh my word.
Yeah, she was asked to change it.
I know that the company I used to work for, some of the employees, we used to have an old CD multi-changer. This is taking us back for the telephone hold music. and somebody put a load of heavy metal albums on it. And of course nobody knew for ages, because you don't hear it when you're in the office.
Oh my god.
So there's all this thrash metal when people were on hold.
What runway are you doing?
Just checking the wind at the airfield. It's 150 degrees, 6 knots. So
That's wind, isn't it?
yeah, it's runway 14 really. So we've got a long stretch after the break of going across the water towards the next airfield, so there'll be all sorts of games, I imagine, with people washing their wheels in the water. Or low level formation.
Ring the RNLI now.
Oh, maybe it's worth respawning in the amphibious.
Oh, could be, yeah. Maybe that's a good idea. For the halfway break, go and respawn in at the halfway airport in a float plane.
Unless you're on A-cars.
Exactly. Then you've earned the t-shirt.
Yeah, I think I would. I've not tried the amphibious one of this. The Kodiak's great, but I've not tried this one yet.
Does it have wheels on the amphibious one or not?
I think it does. Man, this is doing nearly 200 knots, and it's going to shake to pieces. I feel like Steve Austin at the start of the $1 Million Man titles.
What, they have the technology to rebuild you?
Yeah, the bit where the aircraft's coming in, it's breaking up.
Those were the best titles of any TV show ever
Good,
made.
weren't they? Good. As 6-year-old children walking around, jumping off brick walls,
Yeah,
going...
breaking their legs.
Trying to do stuff, trying to actually be in slow motion.
When I was about 4 or 5 years old, I had to go into hospital and they put a stitch in my stomach for a hernia, and they told me they were putting bionics in to keep me happy. Guess what a little kid who's got told they've put bionics in is going to do?
Everything that you're supposed to do when
exactly.
you're healthy.
Good though, isn't it?
Yeah. Cheered me up no end.
I got my brother once. I said, after watching the $6 Million Man, I said, I can be quick. Throw that stick at me, and it's quite a heavy stick, and I will dodge it. And he threw it straight at me, and it went straight in my forehead and stuck in my forehead. the bit that was sticking out of it, it must have weighed about a pound, at least £1.5 pounds. And it span round, and the sharp bit went dunk straight in the middle of my forehead and stuck there like an axe,
I think you should call yourself the discount kid then.
God, there was a lot of claret around.
Second hand not working.
And his immediate reaction was, "Don't tell Mum."
Oh, somebody has turned up in the live stream comments that runs a print and embroidery shop. He's offered to help.
Oh, that's brilliant.
What he hasn't told us, he's actually got a robot that looks across all live stream chats for any mention of caps and badges and Okay, where's the airfield then? I can see some lights going towards the ground over there. Hopefully that's an aircraft landing and not crashing.
It's a grass field.
Might just about all fit on, I reckon.
I feel like one of these buildings might be a coffee shop. I'm parking a plane over there.
Okay. Oh my word, that's an amazing view with the aircraft coming in and the hills in the distance. I think I'll have to play the video back and take some screenshots.
Lovely little islands around here, beautiful.
Given what we are in the world, they'll be full of dinosaurs.
Oh, someone just planted their Kodiak, I think it was. Turn everything off while we're here for a few minutes.
Okay, so all following proper procedure and coming in from the land end. You lot are a well-disciplined bunch.
All except me, I'm too far behind.
And don't forget to refuel.
That's a good point, actually. I would have forgotten if you hadn't said that.
Your throat and your plane.
That was a formation landing. Very cool.
Even the same livery, right?
Yeah. Oh, these professionals, they're making us look bad.
Don't care for this island, there ain't no pylons.
Yeah, for that t-shirt we'll just have a pylon. No words will be needed. Or half a pylon and Dave was here underneath. Or it could be like a tour t-shirt where there's half a pylon and Dave's tour of destruction and a list of all the sites you've hit them down the back.
Metallica 86, yeah?
Yeah, but it will say, you know, Denmark, Sweden, Lake District, Yorkshire Dales, Lake District again, Iceland.
Pylon.
Well, you know why Didcot Power Station disappeared, don't you?
Right, I'm going to go grab a coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh, it feels really high.
See if I can start this engine again.
Clear.
Oh, here comes the float plane.
It's the update. I cannot find the aircraft folders, the default ones.
What, where community is, you mean?
Well, it's in official, it used to be, but there ain't no airplanes in mine anymore, it's just scenery. So they've hidden them away somewhere.
No, they're where they've always... Oh, I moved my community folder though, I don't leave it in the normal place.
Oh, I'm not on about the community folder.
Yeah, it's the one above it. The packages folder.
The official
Well no,
one.
it's the packages folder you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's what would normally go into app data, isn't it? You know, that path.
Well, no, because you can move it, and I have moved it a long time ago. Because if
Yeah,
you've
but
got
my default aircraft were in the official folder next to the community folder.
So if I go and look in community, and I go up to the folder above it, which is the packages folder, I've got it on a custom path, but there's an official folder next to the community folder. So
Yeah,
do you
that's the one I'm on
know?
about.
Yeah, do you know where your community folder is?
Yeah.
So go up one level. An official should be next to it. And inside official, there's one store, and inside one store there is all of the aircraft, all of the real flight sim aircraft.
Only scenery on mine.
I
No
don't
aircraft.
know what you've done then. You've used something else that's influenced that.
Don't know. They've got to be in the computer somewhere.
Just having a look at the next leg. We're not leaving for another few minutes yet, so don't worry, everybody. Just having a look. 26 miles, 222
That was
degrees.
a good idea. I'm switching to the Floatiac.
Yep. Good idea. I'm going to dice with death and put my wheels in the water on the way.
Over 100 mile an hour, the water's like concrete anyway.
Who's in the spit? Awesome.
Who crashed in that building?
It moved in front
Building
of
is
you.
questionable.
It moved. It's got some torque kick on it, that bit. I think I might take a little jaunt down to the water.
Well, I don't think I can do cold and dark from the Floatiac. Looks like there's no parking at this airport.
Yeah,
I wish there was a way around that.
Oh, I see what you mean, cold and dark. No.
When it starts you on the runway, it just
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
your plane off running. I wish it just gave you the option right at the flight planning screen that said, do you want to start cold and dark or engines running, you know?
Yeah,
Because I don't see why you couldn't do that on the runway too, since it's a simulator.
Yeah, but it's the Kodiak, you know, it's saving you the risk of blowing it to smithereens. Yeah, I'm going to take a little trip in the water. Oh, nice. The wheels actually come up automatically. Oh, it's because my gear was up. Okay. Oh, that looks lovely.
just saw a failed barrel roll from the floatiac.
That was me in the beaver.
Oh, sorry, the beaver, not the Kodiak.
That wasn't intentional. It was supposed to be a snap turn, and it just lost all speed in about half a second. It really does stop quickly. I'll try it again.
Yeah, it's not having it, is it?
Made that one, but it did beep at me with a stall.
Okay, are we all airborne? So I'm going to set myself at 222 degrees, looking for 120 knots cruise.
Oh, she loops. Oh, but the carburetor floods out when you try and roll inverted.
Right.
So you got to be quick. Yeah, it'll make it, but it's not good.
Okay, I've got a choice of runways 14 or 32.
Wind on the ground is 150 degrees, 8 knots. So 3-2 by the look of it. No, 1-4, sorry. What am I talking about?
Thank you, that's what I put in. You were getting me worried now.
Going a bit fast, just come off the speed. This is pretty crazy looking at the planes coming into formation. What was it called? Bomber Harris called it? The Big Wing. The scenery behind us is absolutely amazing. So people are asking on the live stream where we are. So we've just left SCHW and we're flying to Butachauques Airport. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it. Sierra Charlie India Bravo. We are off the coast of Chile. So we've got a few more airfields to go this evening. So we're going there, then we're going to Quenac Airport, and then we're on to Mocopulli. For time, half an hour to go, so we're probably okay.
This update for the RV14 MFD has really messed up the autopilot.
Oh, that's a shame.
Every time you turn off the autopilot, nav goes off, vertical speed goes off, and flight director goes off. Turn it back on, those are still off.
No doubt they'll patch it in the days to come.
Hopefully so.
That is a lovely beaver formation here.
It's just a dream to fly manually.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It does in VR, it's just so impressive. Now they've got rid of that that fade out when you're near the aircraft and you can actually fly right up. That's such a good move.
Oh, I didn't know they'd done that.
Yeah, you can just pass straight through, can't you?
I didn't know, I've not tried it.
Well, hang on, you're just about to find out.
There's a setting in it's got somewhere where it's at, but you can turn it off to fade out. You get close or to.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
It's for close formation flying.
See, this is the big value of doing these group flights: is we can all nick knowledge off each other of what everyone's discovered.
Yeah, and it's optionable too, which is nice.
You know about the
oh wow,
Easter egg, right?
You even get the shadows.
Do you mean the? Was it the oh, what's it called? The 62 that's got the old flight sims in it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's actually a JavaScript project that led to that. So if you go and look online, you can find the original JavaScript project where you can go and run the old flight sims.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's crazy to think that the entire of those old flight sims is available inside another game.
And the difference is just a little bit noticeable. Sarcasm.
I should see how close we're getting. Actually, the wind is getting up and it's pushing us across, so I'm going to change course ever so slightly on the, because I'm on autopilot doing this, so. I'm going the wrong way. Ah.
This is air show quality formation flying here, lads. This is I don't know what we're going to do. If you get in the Hawk, it's not going to be so easy, is it, at 300 knots?
It's like watching the Balbo at Duxford.
Yep. It's just so good at leaning. I mean, I'm only using a G2, but I could swear it was real. Especially when there are other aircraft nearby, that really makes it realistic.
Yeah, some beautiful screenshots there.
Yeah, if anybody takes screenshots, do share them afterwards over at the VirtualFlight.Online Discord server. Screenshot city, isn't it, when we get a stretch over water?
So I'm sure it's possible for someone to do a mod where you can do air-to-air refueling. I'm quite sure that's feasible.
That would be amazing.
If you want to practice formation flight, there is also a it's called the dolly recorder or something like this.
Sky dolly.
Sky dolly, yes, thank you. And you just you replay your own flight, but you can start after the first flight just with the distance corresponding to a formation flight, so you can redo and record again all your things. So it's pretty good to practice.
But I guess now with TOW planes implemented, air-to-air refueling is not too far away.
Right, I'm just turning a few degrees away from the airfield to give us time to turn. And for everybody to arrange themselves one behind the other rather than get some separation maybe. So it's at the far end of the island, if you're wondering, the airfield. Let's go and change the time so I can see the other nav lights.
you stick close, so ATC only sees us as one. No fees.
The radar signature of a spruce goose here.
Yeah, it's a very fat seagull coming in.
So, if we follow the line of the land that we're just approaching, it should take us straight to the airfield. Right, I'm coming off autopilot just to let everybody know. Yeah, maybe. Oh, there's a fair amount of turbulence over this hill, isn't there?
Oh yeah. Stack 3 high.
Whoa, I got a downdraft then. I only just got away with that. It was like being in an elevator all of a sudden. Yeah, I guess because of the land shape there, the wind whistling along the runway was dipping over the floor and pushing everything straight down at the apron.
I'm going to have a little splash and go at the beginning of the runway, I think.
Dave, it's showing me on a little nav map that you're ahead of me, but I don't see you in the sim.
Or hiding behind that little cloud.
Come in, Dave.
Sorry? Say again?
Is that you, Dave? Ground control to Dave.
Woke him up.
we better wake up quick because he's coming up to the other airport.
Okay, so final leg.
Pressing the wrong button.
Oh no, second to final leg is over to Quenac.
That's where I'm heading for. I'm just veering off to hit the runway on one, don't know what, 14, isn't it?
So 213 degrees.
Oh, fuel.
Little nav map, it looks like there's a big pilot behind me.
It does, doesn't it?
Bail out, guys.
I'll orbit this airport for a few times to let you all catch up.
So, Jim, have you been watching the series about the SAS?
Yeah, I've watched the whole thing.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and the thing is, it's actually very true to
Yep.
history books as well.
I love
which
that.
is good.
I love that they've been so kind of dispassionate about, you know, the first few episodes followed one character. Suddenly he's captured. Yeah, he didn't come out till the end of the war. He's gone.
Yeah, he ended up in Colditz. That's
Yeah.
Stirling. But
Yeah.
the main training area in Hereford is called Stirling Lines.
Yep. I ended up reading the Wikipedia page about their history, yeah. So they weren't really an official thing for decades because they were shut down at the end of the war.
Well, not quite. They were actually turned into two different
The Special Boat
formations.
Squadron
The
and
Special
yeah.
Boat Squadron, and the Special Air Service.
Yeah. It's, yeah, it's a fascinating story though, that, you know, the pivotal decisions that were made along the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Maine had a hell of a lot to do once Stirling was caught. He really sort of took over, and he became a bit of a reformed character.
Yep.
Sterling, 1990. Maine died in 1950 something.
Right.
As you know, Jonathan, a subject close to my heart.
Yep. Yeah, I thought you'd know a fair amount of the history because of your background.
Right at the beginning of the series, they show a group of people in Land Rovers with the red rat on the front.
Yeah.
Desert rats,
Yeah.
which were the long-range desert
Yeah.
fighters, and my grandfather was one of them.
They still use the Desert Rat emblem today in the Armour Corps.
They do.
Which runway coming up, please?
1-4.
1-4, I think.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Just looking for my mouse, lost my mouse. So the wind on the ground, 150 degrees, 8 knots. So yeah, runway 14. So we have a greeting on the live stream from Charleston, Illinois. Oh, to live. I'm going to put it back onto live time on the way in. I appear to have gathered a group of lunatics.
Okay, this runway, if I've got the right bit, is not easy to see.
No, it's grass. I had to fly over it twice.
Yeah, I'm going to get some height so we can see it.
Have a look at where I'm coming down.
I'll put everybody off by flying in towards you.
It's also very short.
Yeah.
So if we're going for 1-4, we need to turn. Watching other people's nav lights approaching to see if I can figure out where it is.
Just in front of the water by the look of it, by front of the lake, or somewhere near. Yeah, just over the...
Yeah, I can see it.
Philip. Dave H on the peripheral.
Yep.
Now.
Very nice barrel roll, Jonesy.
She just about makes it. The engine starts to cut, but it will make it. And she will loop. She will loop too. I only barrel rolled because you outturned me.
So I was thinking next week, a while ago we did a group flight where we specialised in doing radio navigation. Is anybody interested in doing it again?
What, VRs and NDBs?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
Sounds amazing.
So we'll just be like, yeah, jumping from VOR to VOR through a route somewhere in the world.
And some ILS.
Yep.
As long as there's some pylons, I don't mind.
Well, they're all attached to something metal.
Be good if we could be one massive big squadron all in the same planes with the same livery.
Okay, let's turn around and watch some of the others coming in quickly.
Are you looking at runway 17 for the last stop, Jonathan?
I expect so. If anybody else wants to chip in, well, I've kind of got my hands full at the minute watching the landings.
I got dusk.
I thought you could multitask.
No, that's my wife. I freely admit I'm rubbish at multitasking.
I'm trying the ILS on the last one.
I thought you might, Mark.
Okay, so distance. Oh, sorry. The
You'll have a 18 knot wind up your bum.
285 degrees to the final airfield.
So what would happen in real life with the tailwind and you want to use ILS?
Then you're not using it.
You
No, you could
need
use if it's
brakes.
so. No, if it supports it, you could do a back course, which means that the radio kit in your plane will reverse the existing signal for you to use on the opposite runway. But the hardware on the ground has to support it and your aircraft.
There are no back courses in Europe. The proper procedure, which we do at Biggin Hill, is to do the ILS down to 500 feet, then do a low-level circuit to the opposite runway.
I guess I'm going to clear skies then.
Jonathan, I would suggest maybe a course between 285 and 298 to be able to get over and then line up for the runway.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because Mocopulli is an enormous airport. It's 6,500 feet runway, so we've got plenty of room. Much bigger than the field we just went past. So has anybody figured out in the DC3 what the minimum height dial is for above the binnacle compass?
No, not yet.
I thought it was for an alert during landing, but
This is what I wonder. I wonder if you have the gyro pilot on, because it has got radio altitude. I wonder if you have the gyro pilot on and you're descending, it will cut off automatically when it reaches that minimum. I don't know though, I've not tried it yet. I did have a play with the retrofitted DC3 because everybody said it seems to it's got a bug in it where if you do heading mode on the autopilot, it just goes north. It doesn't take any notice of the heading bug. And yeah, they were absolutely right. It's got a massive bug in it. That's cheating anyway, having a GPS in a Dakota.
Yeah, the old school gyro pilot is much more interesting.
It is.
But you need a chart and a map. It's quite good.
And a navigator.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Oh, I just saw there's an ILS here, so I am gonna switch my weather to like a hurricane to mix it up for the end.
Reduce your visibility down.
Go to 2 o'clock in the morning.
I try and get there fairly sharpish and then I can see people coming in, hopefully. So I'll go and fly a circuit or two watching all the landings happening. That's the maximum speed for the Beaver then. It's starting to make alarming noises as I go through 160 knots.
That's your wings dropping off.
It's not happy. The frame started to shudder.
It's starting to shimmy.
Starting to shake.
Off it in.
Back
Off it in.
Yeah, I think it might be FS Realistic. It's making creaking noises.
No, I'm getting it too. Anything above about 160, 170?
Yeah, it starts to build up, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
The whole thing's coming apart at the rivets. Let's give it full mixture, full beams, full throttle. Yeah, it's not happy at all.
Under switch tanks.
That should be somebody's job if we've got beavers on the flight, shouldn't it? Just to shout out every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't go, but I'm sure it was seconds away from it.
To be honest, you can run it at 50% mixture, even at low level, and it will carry on quite happily.
On finals.
There's a guy on the ground wondering where all these rivets are coming from.
So I thought I was getting there so early. Fly for the airfield and try to intercept him. If only you just had realistic damage where, you know, an elevator might rip off.
Hit my windscreen.
Yeah, I didn't get there before him.
Oh, perfection, that one.
Some people taking some very sharp turns into the airport.
I just thought of another T-shirt for our friend Keith that flies on the My Air flights. All it will say on the T-shirt is "I'm going around."
Again.
I'm going around ...
Well,
again.
to be honest, I've actually come to appreciate that he does it. He doesn't just try and get it in and put the plane into the runway like a meteorite. He goes round and makes sure he does it properly.
Roy, that sounds like Roy.
Remember, this is a live stream. Before you, we've all had moments where we've put a plane in the ground and not been proud of ourselves.
We all have cocked up at some time.
We have. I think my favourite one that I did was just recently. Jim saw it as well. Where I came in approaching the Himalayas.
What gets me though is Keith couldn't give a. I won't swear, but he don't care less, does he? What you want to do, you know? You do it his way.
He's enjoying himself. That's
exactly.
What this is all
It's about fun.
Having some fun. Yeah.
I think another memorable one I had that was a close shave at the end of a 2-hour-long flight with ATC was on approach and lost hydraulic power to the aircraft completely. And this was the 737, the PMDG. And yeah, it turned out I hadn't learnt yet that it consumed hydraulic fluid while you're flying it, and I'd been flying it all week. And as I came down on approach, I just had enough hydraulic pressure to drop the gear. I didn't have enough left to turn off the runway.
Wasn't it hydraulics that stopped your gear coming down on that one I saw?
No, I think that was the cold. Something about that was being modelled in the cold weather. So yeah, I definitely went for the gear lever because it was down on my controller. But again, it just shows you how important checklists are and that you do check things.
No green lights.
No. So I flicked the switch and nothing happened. But we were in the Himalayas. It was about -25 outside. And obviously it had iced up.
And if you go back there now, folks, you can still see the gouges of the propeller.
I've forgotten the name of the airfield. It was a fantastic airfield, wasn't it?
It was. I can't remember now.
It's ridiculously dangerous because there's no go-around option.
No. It's a bit like Lukla, isn't it?
Hmm.
It really created some great landing conditions. Dark, storming. I can see some lights around here. Cool.
Right, the aeroplane's coming in now. Just going to follow them in.
On the blocks and shutting down.
Now, I just leaned in to look at that tablet. You know, I just hit my head against the wall. Oh, that hurt so much.
That's the risk of VR, isn't it?
It's right over the other side of the cab, and it's quite far, and I've just hit the wall.
I remember the first time I done that, leaned out the side of the plane to have a look down. As I hit the air outside the plane, the sound changed that loud, you know, the engine noises. I nearly fell out the seat. That was with VR headset on.
Who else is coming in? I think we might be the last ones. Okay.
Oh, it's even got a little belt, strappy belt around the yoke. Belt and buckle to pull the yoke back.
There's a couple more.
Amazing little aircraft.
Oh, and relax.
Nice flight, Jonathan.
That was good fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, great flight.
Yeah, very nice.
Lines over the mountains.
Very nice, Jonathan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, great flight, that. Brilliant.
Oh, I have to come up with something a bit different then for next week. Maybe, like I said, maybe we'll do some VOR navigation or something. Might be over England because we've got loads and loads of VOR masts.
Round and round the Isle of Wight until everybody gets dizzy.
That's
Do
Tom.
England not this Sunday, but do it next Sunday whenever I can't be on here and I'll actually be in London.
I was going to say, going round and round the Isle of Wight, that's Tom Baker in Blackadder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark, I'll see you at 12 tomorrow.
I work tomorrow, so it'd be a bit later, like around 2:30 my time.
Are you going in tomorrow?
Yeah, I texted him and he said, yeah, come on in. He needs some help.
Okay, so what time?
2 or 2:30 my time.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, see you then. Thank you.
Lovely slide. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and I'll catch you later on in the week
Cool.
and the
See
weekend.
you soon.
Yeah, good night, all.
guys.
Cheers. See you later.
Night night.
Yes, indeed. Good night, all, and thanks very much indeed. Great evening. See you
See you
soon.
soon. Take care. Bye.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Really nice flight. Bye, and till next week.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stop the live stream there.